Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Silent Podcast, a place that we're everything but silent. I'm your host, Isaiah, and I'm with my co-host, Sabrina.
Hi.
Lance.
What's good?
And we brought one of Silent Podcast's Disney Channel original movie podcasters, Esme. What's going on,
Hi.
Esme? And we are here to talk about Total Drama Island episodes 19 and 20. We are almost done. This is, I think, it's final 6 after these 2 episodes. Now, real quick before I get to Sab and Lance, Esme, what is your history with Total Drama? How did you feel about the show in general? And go ahead.
I would say I'm obsessed. Some might call it an unhealthy obsession, but I just call them wrong. I grew up watching this and pretty much, I think, know like the elimination orders by heart and like all of that stuff. So it's a show that I watched a lot, and it was the show that got me into reality shows and pretty much just like started me into this community. So
okay. Now, also real quick for anyone who was unaware, Esme drew our avatar, so there's a little shout out. Oh, there you go. So commission Esme if you want some avatar. Now, on to the episodes real quick. So Sabrina and Lance, for your first watches, I know Sabrina had some choice words, but how did you guys feel about the 2 episodes without giving away too many details?
Well, as y'all know, I wasn't in last week because I was a very tired man. So me just catch up on everything, I'm like really, really stressed out. I will say this episode did hurt my heart a little bit. Well, one of the 2 episodes hurted my heart a little bit. And if this is any indication of how the end game will happen, like I'm gonna be a hurt motherfucker for the rest of this season.
All right, how about you, Sab?
Agreed. Like, I was really upset about the last 2 episodes. Just in general, like, I don't think the eliminations made any sense. And so I was hoping coming to these 2 episodes, it would make more sense, but it still doesn't. So we'll get into it.
All right. So the first episode was episode 19. And this was basically it was a challenge, but not really. It's very weird to explain.
Yeah.
Like might as well just jump into it. So we're starting this episode off, and we see the remaining was like the final 8, I believe, at the time. They're just watching some scary movie. It looks like some parody of Friday the 13th or whatever. And you see some people naturally being scared of the movie. You got Gwen and Duncan being scary movie fans, as they usually are. And then interesting interaction here. We see Izzy jump into Owen's arms, and Izzy and Owen seem to have something going on here. Now, it was almost. Oh, go ahead, that's right.
And they also start talking in third person, which carries out, and I am not a fan.
No.
Izzy seemed to know a lot about horror movies, and it confused me some of her choices that she made later on, given how much she was assumed that she knew, like on this rewatch that I didn't catch like before. I'm like, that doesn't seem like a choice someone who knows like a lot about horror would do, and it seems like you do.
Mm-hmm. Now, something interesting that I caught on the rewatch as well is that I totally forgot that Izzy actually defended Owen during that whole talk when the girls were trying to figure out who they wanted to vote out, the one that Bridget eventually left. So this was almost like foreshadowing that like maybe Izzy cared about Owen in some way. I just thought about that,
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, but what did you guys think about Izzy and Owen? I mean, obviously we'll talk about it later, but like they're basically like a showmance at this point.
Yeah, another surprise pairing that I didn't expect. I don't know. It didn't seem like Owen was ever like trying to go after any of the girls or like really trying to start any kind of stuff. And she was just doing his own thing. So it was kind of weird that all of a sudden now he's like, oh, well, Izzy's cute. Like, let's go with that. Like,
they kind of seem to get more just. They kind of just fell into it. Didn't seem like either of them were avidly searching for a showmance, and it just seemed like they connected and were like, oh, well, hi.
I mean, for me, I think it was definitely a strategic move for Izzy, because you saw when Izzy did it, how Heather looked at her like, yeah, girl, like you need to get in good. Honestly, kind of like y'all mentioned, Owen to me never seemed like he would ever showmance with a girl on the show. So it's definitely interesting to see that happen. And as the episode go on, and even from like, as we're going to talk about their makeout session and everything, it's really interesting how it played out.
Mm-hmm.
It escalated real quick too. Like
now, another funny thing was what Duncan pulled out his hook or whatever and started scaring DJ, and this is like almost the beginning to the end fall for DJ, unfortunately. But I mean, you guys call him Marshmallow Muscles the entire series, so I mean, DJ is a scaredy cat. I mean, so it is what it is there. Now, an interesting thing. I think it was. I'm trying to remember who it was. They left to go get. I think some more popcorn or something, right? And they see Chris and Chef. They're getting on a boat, and they seem really freaked out. And they conveniently leave a bag behind with like valuables that Chris will never leave back. And they're dipping, and they see the newspaper, and is like, oh, there's a crazy murderer on the loose. Oh shoot, like we should be worried. Instantly, Heather's like, this is just one of Chris's stupid challenges. Like, why are we worried about this? And,
what would your reaction be?
Yeah. At this point, Heather is so over the show. Like, she's honestly she's ready to win and go home. Like, she's over everybody. She's over the show. As we saw last episode, where her closest ally being voted out, like, she's over it. She don't give a damn. She don't have no one left in the game, and she's just hoping that she could immunity her way all the way through the end.
Yep, pretty much. Also, I love Chef's acting. He had like the scared face whenever he was like hopping on the boat, like looking at them. They're like, "Wait, what are you doing?" He's like, "Oh," like hop on the boat. He's got commitment.
You love Chef.
He's my favorite. Always will be.
If you were in this situation, would you think this was another challenge?
Yeah, I think I would.
I would have been like Heather. I would have been over it.
Yeah.
It would have been the five of us going off with Heather. Maybe not off with Heather. I wouldn't want to go alone with Heather, but the five of us just leaving.
Honestly, Heather has been getting immunity. I think I would want to be anywhere that her ass is. So I would be with her. Honestly.
True that.
No shade.
Now,
maybe if you're working with her, the producers will start to rig for her.
Oh
for
my
you
God.
too.
I mean, you saw how good that worked out for Lindsay, though. So I mean,
Yeah.
But so Gwen is like, all right, even though this could potentially be a challenge, real or not, we need a game plan. And everyone's just like, I'm gonna go do my own thing. And they literally just watched a scary movie, and they're like, the number one things you don't do, you don't go make out in the woods, you don't go take a shower, you don't go get food or something. Like, the basic things in a scary movie, and everyone's doing that.
This is where it really confused me for what was like what they were trying to do with Izzy, because Heather leaves the group, and Izzy like almost instantly says, and the bossy mean chick like seals her fate, and then she immediately goes off with Owen alone, and I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Like, it was too quick, and I'm like, this doesn't make sense. Like, you should have like maybe made Gwen say that, because that would have made more sense for Gwen or Duncan to say that.
Yeah.
Instead of having Izzy say it and then immediately like break one of the core rules of horror.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see Izzy and Owen. They're doing their own thing, like we said. Owen's giving Izzy a piggyback ride. I don't really know where they're going.
Where are they going?
they just decided.
Explain. They're just like,
I'm like, they're just climbing the hill. I'm like, okay. And Izzy is like, they have an intimate moment eventually, and they're like, let's just make out. And then that's what goes on, like Lance spoke about earlier. And Izzy and Owen are making out, but they see this killer, and this killer is obviously Chef. It's Chef. But they get caught by Chef, and they find out that it was all a part of a challenge, like Heather said. And basically, it's like whoever's the last. I think it was whoever. It's not whoever the last person to get picked, is it?
Yeah, whoever
the last person to get taken in the tent.
There you go.
I think it's like the last person, quote unquote, alive.
Yeah. And by that logic, I mean, Owen or Izzy should have lost, right?
Yeah. Owen and Izzy should have lost. Or there was also another scene with Jeff that annoyed me. But we did kind of skip over the fact of Owen just pushing Izzy into the killer.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
No, because and that obviously upsets Izzy. So it's like their romance is going up, and then it just takes a plateau. Like it takes a nosedive because Owen is like, Owen is too young to die. Here, take Izzy instead, and shoves Izzy into presumably the killer, into presumably a mass murderer.
Mm-mm.
Now, we're gonna see after they catch those two. Chef is going to be sent out to go get more people, and we're going to see people like Jeff and DJ, right? And DJ's like, I gotta use the bathroom, but don't leave me. And Jeff is like, I won't leave you, dude. No worry. He's like, just don't leave me. You're gonna see DJ go to the bathroom, and Heather conveniently is in the bathroom taking a shower, and she has like this face a face mask on or something, and comes out and basically scares DJ, and he runs out. And
that part was really funny though. Whenever he was like screaming all around the island and like under the water screaming, and, like, that was funny.
And also, Jeff did leave him. He just went to go get ice cream.
Yeah,
Jeff with a G strikes again.
I know Lance has some words for Jeff when we get to the ranking.
Like for Jeff to have made it to top 7 at this point is like
are you kidding me?
Years. Like
What
I'm
is
going
Jeff?
crazy.
Like my question is, what is Jeff bringing to the table?
Nothing. He should have been gone. My girl
Yeah.
Courtney should still be there. Period.
Yeah.
But at least use that pointy chin to your advantage. Like he's not doing anything.
So DJ gets himself eliminated. He basically sent himself to getting eliminated. He didn't even see Chef. But there you go with that. Now Chef is going to go back to where DJ was, and basically he captures Heather, who as confident as she was that it was just a challenge, she still was very afraid. And she gets caught, so that's another person down. Everyone's basically breaking the rules when it comes to scary movies. You see Lashana, she just decides to go get some brownies from the lodge. And she didn't care to get caught. She was just like, hey, I got some food.
Yeah.
Which
she actually wasn't even scared.
And she just grabbed them barehanded. Like she just grabbed the pan barehanded. I'm like, did you not just like burn your hands? Because there was coming off the brownie.
I didn't even think about that.
I was like, I just noticed. I'm like, interesting choice that she didn't like get pot holder. Like I think that would have just been weird to also just have her put off pot holders and then. But I hope her hands are okay.
What were you gonna say, Lance?
No, I was saying that honestly, when Lashana wasn't even scared, she started talking about how she grew up 16 years in the projects and all of this stereotypical stuff that they put on Black people. So, they did it once again. But she wasn't even scared. She seemed like she was over it as well. Like, let me just, whatever. Okay, you got me. Let's go. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one thing I did forget to say is during all of this, there's an actual killer around, obviously, and
what the heck?
He's like stalking people. I guess he broke out of a prison that was near Wawanakwa or something. I mean, they're on a remote island, so I don't know how, but I mean, okay.
Did you just be like, I heard this is where the reality show is being filmed. Let me swim out to it.
Let me get my 15 minutes.
Now, the last two people alive are Duncan and Gwen, and they have two different approaches. Yeah. Oh yeah, Jeff is also there, but I mean he gets he just gets ice cream cone or whatever. He gets caught. I mean Jeff's with a G, not the smartest player. No. But we're going to get to Gwen and Duncan. And they have two different approaches, right? And Gwen's approach is first she wants to make a game plan. Duncan's like, screw this, I'm going to go have some fun. Let me go hunt down this killer. And Gwen basically is like, you know what? Everyone else wants to die. I'm just gonna go make a sandwich. And so we're going to see Duncan first, and he actually, interesting enough, he's like the second person this season to try to challenge Chef in a fight after Izzy. But he challenges.
I forgot about the fight with Izzy.
He challenges Chef, and Chef has a chainsaw on the hook, so like he has an upper hand against him. But eventually he breaks the chainsaw off of Chef's hand and captures him with the chainsaw, and basically has Chef almost like admit defeat. But by the rules of the game, Duncan still lost, but he did it in a very interesting way. So I thought that was cool. So theoretically, Gwen should have won this challenge, but like I said, there's an actual killer out there that was actually about to kill Gwen, and everyone runs in and saves her. Like, that's the real killer with the chainsaw on the hook. She kicks him in the face, and that's that.
That was great. I was like, oh my god, yes.
How'd you guys feel? I mean, like, if this was a regular challenge, I think Gwen wins. But how did you guys feel about Gwen here?
Oh, Gwen's awesome. I love her. She wins.
Yes.
How about you, Lance?
Winner.
Yeah, I literally love Gwen as well. Like, she just continues to grow in my book every single round. Like, also with Duncan too. Like, we saw a little more strategic mindset with Duncan. Well, we already knew he was strategic, but it was like his thought process, like, oh well, yeah, Gwen's gone, so now I'm gonna win this kind of thing. It's like she was trying to do more of a teamwork thing, like, hey, maybe we both could get safety, and he's only looking out for himself. So we saw that with him, and we also saw Gwen like just being the rock star bad bitch that she is, that Sabrina saw in her since episode 1, that I grew to love. So Gwen need to continue to kill it like that. Right now, that's my winner. I want Gwen to win this thing so bad.
Please.
How the trajectory of this show is going, though, I don't see it happening, because
I don't either.
I think it's like meant to hurt our feelings. Like, we'll get a Jeff win before we get a Gwen win.
Oh God,
how would you guys feel about a Jeff Heather final 2?
Heather better win it. At that point, I would want
honestly,
Heather
like, if that's what it is, like, yeah.
If Jeff and Heather is in the final 2, Heather better win.
Out of curiosity, I got 2 questions, and then we can just finish out this episode.
Okay.
So one is for Lance. So Lance, because you weren't here for the last one, how did you feel? Because you said about the Gwen comp wins. How did you feel about Lashana winning like 3 comps in a row? Did that affect anything for you?
Honestly, yeah, Lashana has been kicking ass as well. Like, Lashana is beast mode cowgirl. Like, for me, she is showing that, hey, she might be a big bitch, but she knows what she's doing. Like, from fucking thinking to be smart and being a fish underwater with a fucking snorkel to like I'm just so proud of Lashana, because I know in the previous rounds we were really like sitting there looking like, hey, what are you gonna do next, girl? Because we need to see that. And then she slowly but surely been forming herself with Gwen to realize that, hey, I need a strong ally in this game to make it far. So, honestly, Gwen Lashana final 2 would be amazing also. But I still think Gwen will pull it out, because I feel like Lashana hasn't pissed anyone off, but Gwen has played the game.
Yeah.
I think Lashana has played a really great social game and is starting to get a better strategic game and like challenge game. And I think when I first watched it when I was in here, I was at this point, I was originally rooting for DJ. Like, I was rooting for DJ, Lashana, and I think Gwen is my final 3 at when this episode was still here. But then DJ went out, so then it was like rooting for the 2.
Now, lastly, for Sabi and Lance, is whoever going to win, despite who wins the season, is that going to have a heavy effect on you when you look back at the season for your overall rankings?
I think it really does depend on who wins. Because if it's somebody like Jeff, it's like, what the fuck? Like, what were we doing?
Why did I waste myself watching 27 episodes if Jeff is going to win this game? I fucking finished this season, and it's Jeff with a G getting a crown. I will be so mad I watched it, and I'm not sure I can continue with Total Drama Island. So y'all better be praying to the gods. Since y'all know who won, y'all better ooh.
Okay. So to close out this episode, so obviously Gwen kicks the killer in the nose so hard that he wants to leave. He doesn't care. No one calls the cops.
I was treated better in prison. I was treated better in prison.
Like, oh my god.
And we don't even get a real voting elimination, because I mean, if that happened, I think Heather would have left.
He did not get the send off he deserved.
I just don't understand. So did they actually vote, and they were unanimously voted out DJ?
So I believe it was like the last episode where like it was based off of the challenge result. I think they did the same thing here, and they went with the technicality. They're like, DJ technically didn't get caught by the killer. Oh my
god, this is so stupid. I hate. See, and that's what's pissing me off. Like, they did it like back to back.
Yeah.
that
Wait,
first
so
one was
that-
BS with
that's
Lindsay, and they did.
Yeah.
I thought
Lindsay didn't get voted out. Lindsay lost because of a challenge.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
'cause
yeah,
Lindsay
yeah,
was
yeah,
kicked
yeah.
out. Lindsay was just kicked out.
Yeah.
No, I'm just glad that for everyone's sake that it wasn't the Lindsay and DJ episodes in the block together. Like you didn't have to watch those two episodes.
Oh, that was bad.
I'm just like, what
Yeah.
kind of like, I don't know. I just feel like that is not a very like audience retention friendly strategy.
Yeah,
And then I think there was a much better way. Like, I personally like watching the season. I don't think DJ was set up to win. I don't think he was really getting
at
it.
all.
Mm-mm.
But
Just the
there
way
was,
he went out was just like
a way
ridiculous.
to take him out that was more respectful, I feel like.
Yeah.
And I feel, yeah.
But that definitely closes the chapter for DJ for us because we literally called him Marshmallow Muscles. And for him to go out being scared is
Yeah.
iconic. Iconic. But also, I'm sorry, but also like in the hands of it being Heather, also fucks with me. Like, ugh.
Yeah.
Also, one thing that annoyed me on this rewatch that I don't think I caught was that Chris flat out says to Jeff, well, that was the biggest blunder. And that was after DJ was lost the challenge.
Mm. Production.
Seriously, production is.
Now real quick before we move on, how did you guys rank episode 19 on the scale of 1 to 10?
3.
How about you, Sav?
Some of the parts were funny. Like I liked all the montages of them being scared. That was funny. But the ending was weird, and I didn't enjoy that part. So like 5, 6, maybe maximum.
It wasn't even like a real challenge episode either. So that's why it also.
Yeah, I think
originally this season must have came out during Halloween, and they did a slasher episode. That must have been air date. Had to be.
Yeah, that would make sense.
That's interesting. I didn't think of that.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, and I'll never understand it.
Yeah, literally after the Lindsay episode, I was like, okay, that's a one-off. Let's just like continue on normally, and they did it again. Like,
I will say, Lance, you were close. Original air date for US October 9th, 2008.
Oh, so
you were close.
Halloween theme kind of.
So there you go. So we're gonna go to episode. Oh wait, real quick, Esme, how did you feel about it? 1 through 10.
For me, it was. I'm like right in between where Sabrina and Lance say. It's like a 4.5 for me. For what I feel like, I like some of the interactions. I'm knocking it down to a 4 actually. Now that I'm thinking more about it. No, because there was some of comedy, but like the challenge was faulty. The DJ elimination was not great. Jeff is still here.
Jeff is still here. A 0.
So we're gonna go to episode 20. This episode was the animal hunting thing, and honestly, it's just kind of like the key challenge where you had to go find a treasure chest key. But oddly enough, the stakes for this was extremely low. It was a reward challenge.
Yeah.
And whoever wins it gets a dinner. But it's like, honestly, if you're not the first person, there's not really much incentive to continue on with the challenge. But everyone continued to do it anyway. Yes. So,
well, if you lose, if you're the last place person, you have to like clean up the box or whatever.
You know what? That's right. Okay.
So like a reward and punishment where you wanted to like be first to get some food, but you also didn't want to be last so you didn't have to scrub up the toilet.
I think I wouldn't have cared. Like if I would have found out that someone got there first, I would have been like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, I would have that would have been nice to have that food, but I'm just gonna try to get there so I don't. I'm just gonna try to get not last.
Yeah, exactly.
So, we before we get to the challenge itself, we see Izzy is still very angry with Owen for pushing her into a killer. Drop the ball. Drop the ball. So we're going to see Chris, like I said, explain the challenge. It's an animal catching thing. If you catch your animal, you get this amazing dinner of all your favorite foods. If you don't, you got to clean up. They should have added some immunity in there, but they didn't. It is what it is. So we see everyone's initial animals. I'm trying to remember off the top of my mind. I believe so. Lashana had to catch a frog.
Yeah.
Owen had to catch, what was it? He had to catch a
Chipmunk.
yes, a chipmunk.
Squirrel.
Yeah. Gwen had to catch, was it a duck? Duncan. Izzy had a deer, which she never. I've never seen a deer in the show, so I was like, "How is she going to do that?" I remember it was Heather who had to get a bear.
Yeah.
Raccoons.
Raccoon
and had beavers, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Is that it for all of them?
It's kind of unfair. So LaShawn got to catch a frog, but Heather got to catch a bear.
I know.
Wild.
And this would have been the perfect time to get her medevac.
Seriously.
I mean, they did it to Cody. If you remember. So I mean, hey. But so we're getting to the challenge that everyone's looking at different items like chainsaws, nets, all that fun stuff. You got, I think it was Izzy. She found a tranquilizer gun, which was the most.
She runs out with like 4 boxes.
Yeah, for real.
Which is like a really smart move because like you get you can claim whatever's in those boxes. Like you might get garbage, but you might also get a tranquilizer gun.
Now, the coolest thing here, and I think this is what Lance was talking about earlier. Duncan's strategic side is showing up again because he just lost a number in DJ, but he still has his allies in Owen and Jeff. But he's making side deals here because I think he's starting to see Gwen and Lashana as serious endgame threats, and he cuts a deal with Heather, who's desperate for allies at this point, and tells her, "Let's make an alliance. Like I know you need people," and she's not with it at first. So he's like, "I'll help you catch a bear," So I mean. Sabrina, because we're hearing Lance's opinions on a little bit, he can add on as well. How did you feel about Heather here, and Duncan with this whole strategy?
I think it's smart for Duncan just because no matter what happens, he'll have an ally. Like if she goes, he'll still have Jeff, and if she doesn't go, then he has another person. Like I think it's smart for him to pair up with the person that nobody likes because he won't be targeted. She will, like, no matter what. So she's almost just like a shield for him. Like, and to have be on her good side is just one more number for him. So I think that was really smart on his point. I still don't know how Heather really feels about it. Like, I don't know if she's 100% on board or not, but you're right. She's desperate at this point. So she should be on board.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're getting to the quick montages and everything. I mean, without spending too much time on them, Lashana is having the hardest time in the world just to catch a frog.
I love that she's holding the cheese, and the frog's like closer. Closer.
Do frogs like cheese?
I don't know.
No, I don't think so. But I thought that was really cute.
We're gonna see Duncan have to fight like a mecha of raccoons.
The best part of the episode was the megazord of all of those raccoons.
And then they start shooting raccoons out of cannons.
Turning into a transformer is really what I thought it was about to turn into how in Power Rangers how they connect
the megazord.
The megazord.
Yep.
That's what it gave me the energy for, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, that was
shooting little baby raccoons at him. I'm like, okay.
Now,
I just wrote that one of my notes, and it just says Izzy has an IQ of 188. Raven Walton.
I don't know. I think I like Izzy shoots Chef with a tranquilizer gun by accident. So I was like, oof, not that.
Izzy was trigger happy with that tranquilizer.
Yeah.
She was shooting planes. She was shooting lions, tigers, and bears. And as we saw in the episode, she's actually going to make a very fatal move by shooting someone that she shouldn't have shot.
Also, she just said, it was a mess. She saw her, didn't she shoot a My Little Pony thing?
Oh yeah, what was that? That little horse thing that she shot. I don't know what that was.
Yeah, that was wild. I remember.
Shot a plane.
Yeah,
yes.
why she couldn't turn in the pony the uniform?
Right?
He wouldn't have cared. Chris wouldn't have cared. He wanted a deer. So what else? I mean, real quick, Gwen is having this Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner thing with her dog.
It literally sounded like the Roadrunner.
Yeah. And then Jeff completely gets beat up by like these beavers and all that. But at the end of the day, all those people turned in their stuff. I think the only people who didn't turn in their thing was
Heather.
it was Heather. Yeah. And so
Well, but technically, Izzy also didn't either.
We didn't see Izzy or Heather, but I think it was implied that Izzy got theirs in first.
Yeah, I think it was counted that because she shot she shot Heather ass that it counted as a deer.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure about that because I was like, okay, because I mean, I guess maybe Chris was like, haha, that's funny, we'll count it. Like,
yeah, because she was.
I mean, that's pretty wild, man.
Heather,
That's pretty
wild.
wild.
The thing is, did Izzy put her in the cage with the rest of the animals?
That'd have been good.
So I mean that's basically the episode here. I mean, for the challenge wise, at least. I mean, like what Gwen gets her dinner, but not even because like Owen runs into it.
Yeah, like it's going on there.
And that's the crazy part that I didn't understand. That like the last, as we follow the trend of the last 2 episodes, challenge based, the person went home. So this is the perfect time for them to send Miss Girl, who's been running the game, home.
Seriously.
While she's hurt.
Literally.
But they're playing this role of her being tranquilized, and she's playing it up so well and using her new form alliance with Duncan. And that's ultimately what saves her.
Yeah, I think so too.
My question is, how wasn't it Heather and Izzy in the bottom two?
No, it was Gwen and Izzy. That's the crazy part.
No sense. It makes no sense.
Who voted Gwen?
Exactly.
Because that shocked me. I'm like, Izzy and
I
Gwen?
need to see the voting chart. I need to see the voting chart.
Honestly.
Well, I'm looking at a voting chart right now. So it looks like everyone's safe, and it just everyone voted Izzy except for Gwen. Gwen voted. I mean, except for Izzy. Izzy voted Gwen. So everyone voted Izzy.
Prime opportunity moment to go after Heather. Like,
prime. Like she's hurt. Like I was really hoping they were going to just wheel her out onto the boat, like on her little like stretcher thing.
The last 2 rounds, she have been open for the vote.
Yes.
And they have not had a chance to get, like, the DJ thing, we understand. It was, challenge based. Like, this round was an actual vote. And for them not to vote out Miss Girl, y'all are crazy. So now I'm to the point where I'm like, I want Heather to do good. I want her to make it to the end. I want her to win. Like, I want to see Heather win.
To where they like don't recognize that they have an opportunity for like that. Like, and if they're gonna bitch about her all day long in confessionals and then not vote her out, like.
Especially Lashana is crazy because Lashana, deep down inside is still that war from way episode 2, 3, 4 of her and freaking Heather. So when the time comes when Heather's gonna shoot at Lashana, think Heather ain't gonna do it, and I see it coming. And I see it happening.
And that's like the thing that's like, now Heather, this would like, I'm not lost for words.
Yeah, Heather's gaining allies. That's the thing. She just gained with Duncan. Lashana doesn't have that. Duncan is still wanting girls out. So the girls they're going to shoot at next, Duncan already had a kind of relationship with Gwen. So it ain't going to be Gwen. And now it ain't going to be Heather. The only girl that's left? Who?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Bye, Lashana.
Damn.
So is that your prediction of who's going to go next?
In the next 2 episodes, Lashana is going home in one of those episodes. I promise you.
I see it.
I'll put money on it, baby.
All right. Well, there you go. I mean, the rest of the episode is literally just Duncan ends up doing Heather's thing because she's hurt.
Yeah.
She's not anymore, but So real quick before we move on to the next portion of the stream, what do you guys rank episode 20 on a scale of 1 to 10? Lance, you can go first.
I'll give that one a little 7. For me, it was a little funnier than the dang slasher. I'll give it a 6 because it wasn't like an iconic episode. And then I'm also mad that they didn't do no like big D. Like Izzy was already voted out. Like you have to save her for a full round. This is a round y'all needed to make a move. If it wasn't gonna be fucking, no matter how much I love Gwen, if they would have got Gwen out, I would have been screaming. So they need to make a big move at this point, and I feel like they wasn't. So I'm a little upset.
Okay. So 7 for Lance. How about you, Sab?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to 6, just because I'm mad at the cast for not taking a move. Like it was just so opportune, like right there. Like, why is he? Like she could have just like messed around for another few episodes. Like, who cares? She wasn't gonna win, and
It also doesn't make sense to me that Owen voted Izzy.
yeah, after all that too.
Yeah.
Like this voting chart, what it should have been is it should have been Duncan and
Yeah.
Heather voting together,
Yeah.
and then everyone else voting out Heather.
Yes.
Or maybe maybe Duncan is able to convince Owen and
Jeff.
forgot Triangle Man's name. To like flip on someone, to like take someone out, but then that would have at least given us an explanation.
Exactly. Whatever.
Well, and then Esme, how did you rank it, real quick?
Probably a 6. Similar to Lance, I think it was more enjoyable as an episode in whole, and but the elimination, I kind of sullied it, and I think it just wasn't like it's one I like, but it's not like when I look back at a lot.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
Tier list.
All right, so this is good. Tier list real quick will be a lot shorter. Like every episode gets shorter because there's not
Sure
left.
does.
Last week, girl. Oh,
here you go.
We didn't do too bad. Oh yeah, Lashana's an A. Hell yeah, or S. Yes.
Oh my god.
How do you feel about these rankings, Lance? Before I adjust anything.
Before you move, let me finish observing what you did. So you moved Izzy down. Jeff, of course. DJ. Oh, hey, look at you! You moved DJ down from B, and look at this. Take a hit, girl. Look at you. You're do it, baby. I'm proud of you, Sal.
Thank
Good
you.
job, girl.
All right, so we're gonna move DJ to eliminated.
Why DJ?
Izzy leaving the final 1, 2, 3, 4,
6.
final 6.
Dang, that's crazy.
We
All
have
right.
Gwen, Shauna,
All these losers.
Owen. Yeah.
So real quick, both of the people who returned are out yet again. So
good.
All right, so we can start with Gwen. So Gwen, these 2 episodes weren't dynamic Gwen episode. Oh, actually, no, I'm lying. 19.
No,
that
she
was
won.
Gwen. Yeah, she did her thing. Yeah, she did her thing challenge wise. Big challenge episodes for Gwen.
Mhm.
She's doing her thing though. There you go.
Yeah.
Is that 2 back-to-back now?
I think so. Lashana won 3 in a row, and then Gwen won 2 back-to-back. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So there you go. But how do you guys feel about
Lashana wanted what wasn't a solo, right? The hide and seek one, like another team.
No, she was the only one that won.
Yeah.
Won.
Uh-huh.
I just remember that in that challenge, multiple people could have won and been in.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Lance and Sab, what you guys think with
I want to keep going that ass. I want to keep her at ass. She's killing it for me.
Yeah.
She's everything
Same.
for me.
All right, so Gwen stays at S. Lashana, she's not really, other than Heather, she doesn't have any real enemies. She had her comp things, but I mean, she's quiet episodes too here. I mean, she didn't really take a commanding role, but I mean, still, she wins comps. She has a duo with Gwen. I don't think many people disagree with her, but she's kind of falling behind a little bit because now Duncan's getting active with the strategy. So I mean, how do you guys feel about Lashana here?
So for me, just sort of logic I spoke on recently, I think Lashana need to go down to C at least, just in case we do take a hit. She's definitely a great character. But I just think of the logic of Duncan and Heather's new relationship that we saw was very protruding and dynamic. Owen still hasn't pissed people off, and Duncan will look out for his guy. And Gwen, he will look out for Gwen because Gwen and him had a former, not like relations, but game relationship. So I feel like the next person that Duncan and Heather's going to target, and it's going to be Heather's chance to pull people in to vote her out, is Lashana. So I think she needs to go down to C.
Yeah,
and Jeff is a non-factor.
No, you definitely your logic makes a lot of sense, for sure. Because I 100% see that happening to her. So I could agree with that. Because she was doing so good, but you're right. It just comes down to relationships now because it's final 6. You're gonna keep the people you're close with, and Duncan's not as close to Lashana as he is to the people left.
So wait, before I continue in real quick, and I'll let Esme say something. So your predictions, it's that LaShawn is going to go on one of the next 2 episodes. Who else do you think is going then one of the next show?
Honestly, I think it's gonna be Jeff with a final four of Heather, Owen, Duncan, and Gwen. That's just me.
Okay.
It's time for Jeff to go. He's not bringing anything. So like I think it's gonna be like a hot episode, and then it's gonna be like oh yeah, okay, bye girl.
Yeah.
Okay. Were you saying that's Mike?
Do you think Lashana could win a few more challenges and keep herself safe, or do you think
that's her only way to stay safe?
Yeah, and I think that's valid too, because she is a cop beast and she's proven that. So like she totally could win the next two challenges. You never know, but like that, yeah, I agree. That's probably the only way she could legitimately like stay safe at this point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right. So next is Duncan. Like we said, Duncan has Jeff and Owen alliance. He has an alliance with Heather as well. But if you guys remember the episode where Bridget left, I think Lashana and Gwen are also on to Duncan as being a good player, and I think he is also understanding that they're threats, which is why, despite him wanting to go after Heather, he made an alliance with Heather. So it's like, how do you guys feel about Duncan here?
I want to move him up to A because I feel like
I was gonna say the same.
he is definitely like bringing up just strategic chops right now, and I think securing that Heather alliance is really going to help him. Yeah.
Okay. Any words, Lance?
No, I agree with what Sab said. I wanted to say I want to move him up because more and more each episode we see his strategic prowess like continue to grow. And if he's going to be the person that's going to find a way to inch his way to the end and win, out of anybody, he will. Like, right, the girls have been dynamic all season. But if we had to pick an MVP guy, it would be very close between him and Owen because Owen has brought us the funny, but Duncan has brought us the strategy.
Yes.
Okay.
Amen.
All right. Next is Owen. Owen, like it says, brought you the funny. Owen, honestly, I think the beginning of the season he was a big challenge beast. He hasn't really been doing much challenge wise, but I mean, I don't think anyone has yet to target Owen this entire season. So, what's your thoughts on Owen here? I mean, he's a part of the guys in lines too. There, you know, there you go.
I don't know. I think he stays right there at B, like because like I feel like he really is in the middle of like what Duncan and Jeff are bringing. Like he's got like he's entertaining, but he's not like as strategic as Duncan is, but he's not as like irrelevant as Jeff is. Like I think.
I was also going to say I forgot he leaked the guys' lines to Gwen as well. There you go. There's another thing.
Yeah. So the thing is with Owen, I feel like when they do strike. If Gwen and LaShawn is gonna strike, they're gonna strike at Duncan or Jeff. Yes. And I feel like if the guys are gonna strike, you know, he's on the good side of that. So it's either gonna be LaShawn or Gwen. So I feel like right now Owen is in the perfect medium where once those sides strike, even if it's two back-to-back strikes of one from each side, he will squeak his way through and be the outlier and the last person standing of the strike. You know. Yeah,
I think so too.
Okay.
So I think he's good where he's at.
Yeah.
All right. You guys move LaShawn down here. Heather. Finally, someone wants to work with Heather. Heather has Duncan as an ally now. To what degree, we don't know, but they're working together. She, for some reason, isn't getting voted out still. You know, production favors her with certain things. But how do you guys feel about Heather here?
I'm conflicted. Like, part of me wants to put her like behind Owen, but I don't know. Like, I don't know if that dynamic of Duncan and her is really gonna like be solidified next episode. Because if it is, then I would put her like higher up. Like, I don't know. What do you think, Lance?
I personally wanted to move her up. Honestly, I originally said I wanted to move her above Owen, but as an outlier, as a fail safe, we can put her behind Owen. Just in case, because we still got to remember they do still have LaShawn and Gwen who despise of her, and if they have any type of power and could sway one vote, there's only 6 people left. They could submit a tie, and we don't know what happens in the tie, etc.
Yeah.
So I think Heather's in a great position, though. I think it was smart for her to realize like her allies are slowly but surely out of the game, especially with her losing her closest of Lindsay last episode.
Yeah.
The last set, pulling Duncan in, I think Duncan will be her safe in this game right now.
Yeah.
All right, and I'm assuming you guys are keeping Jeff at D again, like usual.
I personally actually I have nothing to say. I was gonna say I have nothing to say, but I have a lot to say. Jeff has stolen a spot for so many great, amazing players throughout this game. My girl Courtney was cut short for him to thrive. Girl, bye. So many good people. Like we could have saw more from. It's so many people we could have saw more from. My boy DJ
So
can
many
make it through
people.
and everything. Like, are you serious? Let me look at some of these people who've been eliminated. Lindsay could have had another episode. Beth could have still been in. Trent could have still been here. For Jeff, get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Out of like early boots, who do you want to see more of?
Beth for sure for me.
I want to see Beth more.
Beth, Courtney
for sure.
Beth, Courtney,
Harold. Oh, Harold.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's Harold, right?
Yeah.
I really wish I would have seen like a Lindsay revolt, like before she got like eliminated.
I know. I
was
wanted that
waiting
too.
for that. God, that would have been so good.
All right.
I'm good
I
with
think
that.
it would be interesting to have, because Beth was eliminated before they had people return, right?
Yeah, so I thought
Yeah.
she was going to be one of the returnees.
Yeah.
Like Eva and Izzy.
I know, for real. Like, that's such a waste.
I think Beth could have been a really interesting return because that relationship dynamic with her and Heather.
Yeah, and then Harold would have been good too because, he just had spilled his guts about loving Lashana.
Oh my God, that's so good.
Like, if we had Beth come back, like, it would have been interesting because Lindsay was still there and it would have been it would have, like, made Lindsay choose either Heather or Beth. I mean, she kind of did. All right, but, like.
All right. Well, there you go. There is the tier list for this week. Is this a strong final six, guys, or is this a weak final? Like I don't know.
It's a strong final five. Jeff will go.
Yeah, I think overall it's a very strong final six. I'm happy with it, except for one. But you know what? That happens almost every season of any show, right? You never get everything you want. So yeah.
All right.
And watch, he's gonna be our winner.
Esme, here is their drafts. If you want to see that, but look, it's good. It's good for Lance because
I told you, Lance, it was coming.
They still don't know what this is yet either, but I mean, eventually. But
that comes soon, right?
Oh, what that coconut thing?
Yeah, I'm. I ain't gonna say anything, but there you go. So look, Sab's up 2. There's a chance. If you guys said Jeff, Jeff's gonna leave.
I have 2 strong people because if Jeff and I leave, we're tied going into the final 4.
Mm-hmm.
Like if my predictions are right, we are gonna be tied going into the final 4.
I love that.
Out of the final 4, who's your ideal top 2?
Good question. Yeah.
Like out of the people that you think is going to be final
Gwen
4.
And Heather, I love them both. Like Heather, you love to hate her, and Gwen has just played the game, so I want them to be final 2. No shade. I think it'll be a good fight.
I think Gwen and Heather will be a great juxtaposition because like they were on total opposite sides the entire time, and, like had different alliances. So it'd be interesting to see how people voted like for them, like how the split.
Because people hate Heather.
Yeah. I don't know. If that'd be interesting. Like, I mean, it'd be more fun if it was like Owen and Gwen or something like that. But like,
I don't think Gwen could win if it's her and Owen though.
Interesting.
Owen didn't piss anyone off. Not a single person.
No, that's true.
Heather and Lindsay could taint that jury against Gwen. You feel me?
Yeah.
For Owen to win.
Very true.
Owen has a single soul.
You're right.
How big is a jury?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
I don't remember. I'm gonna have to say. I don't know.
No, that's like I was like I don't remember if they. I'm just like.
Well, yeah. Let me see. I almost said something. Let me be quiet. But there you go. There you go. So there's episode.
Okay. So let me tell you. So I looked, and we have 7 episodes left and 6 people. It doesn't add up. So something is gonna happen.
There's an aftermath. There's an aftermath.
What? That's like a reunion.
Like a It's like a recap. It's like it would basically be like a reunion episode.
Okay.
Let me not spoil.
Right.
I can't deal with no more returnees.
Or maybe
like let me finish this.
Oh, I know.
There's no more returnees. I will say that. There you go. So There you go. There's our podcast for the night. Everyone, thank you for watching. If you're watching us live or watch us at a later time, we appreciate all the support that you guys give us over here at Silent Podcast. We will be back here next week, probably Sunday or Monday, to talk about episodes 21 or 22. If you want to tune in for that, please follow any of the social medias listed down below. We have a Twitch and YouTube channel at Silent Podcast, and our Twitter page is silent_podcast. Follow, subscribe, and all that fun stuff, because every little bit helps. Join. Shout out Sean Dario. He makes all of our graphics over here. So shout out John. But yeah, there you have it. I don't think we have anything lined up for tomorrow, but Tuesday you can tune in with Sarah for the Big Brother Hangout, as well with possibly Carrie if she talks about Circle. Then I think she only talks about it on Saturdays now. But Esme, when are you and Ganja? When are you guys talking about your next Disney movie? I think it's Tuesday, right?
We need to figure that out. I think it's Tuesday, and our next one is Halloweentown.
Oh.
I might have to hop on that one.
Well, there you go.
Well,
Halloweentown. So tune in.
If you want to stop, Lance.
Yes, Halloweentown, all of them, Twitches, all of that. Get into
Oh my god, I love Twitches.
Go ahead, Esme. What were you saying?
Twitches.
I think it lagged a little bit.
This is the first one I've seen. Like will have seen. Like before we do the podcast. Like.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, there you have it. So I'm just going to start closing now and let everyone plug their stuff. So real quick, Esme, thank you for coming through. I know your connection is a little bit laggy. I don't know where you're going to hear us, but thank you for coming through. I'll let you plug in your Twitter and anything. You just tell people what you're up to. So go ahead. Whenever you hear it.
Can't see how it is, but it's at Esme B Hart on Twitter and at Esme B Hart on Instagram. Not me having not me having a Lance connection.
And y'all was talking about me. And y'all was talking about me. Y'all was talking about me, and look at you now.
No, this is just as it was, Lance.
Well, there you go. So follow Esme. Like I said, I'll post it over time. If you want some total drama art, pay money for it. You can get it from Esme. So there you go.
Victims.
Lance, where can people find you?
All right, you guys. People can find me on Instagram as well as Twitter at I am King Lance, which is located here. No space or underscore. Everything is all together. Great things happening for your boy. Make sure y'all be tuning in very, very soon to Victory House Mole Season 3, where it features me and Sab. It'll be coming out really, really shortly. I think June, right, Sab?
Yeah, June 28th.
Yeah, and then also one of my other shows, TLWL, The Life We Live, Season 6, Dallas. The trailer just dropped, and it premieres on tomorrow, actually. No, Tuesday.
Nice.
It premieres on Tuesday at 7 p.m. So if you want to find out a little bit more about that, go on Dre.media on Instagram or look at my Instagram, and you'll figure out where you can find that on YouTube. And that's that for Lance.
Woohoo!
All right. Sab, where can people find you?
So I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Sabrizi2492. What Lance just said, look at Victory House Productions on YouTube, and you will see the second promo for season 3 of The Mole, where Lance and I both played together. Super fun. Season drops in June. Also, my fiance just started streaming on Twitch. He plays just some random games. Magic the Gathering is his favorite right now. So it's Cole the Mole Pet Shop is his name. On Twitter, it's Cole the Mole PS. So give him some love and some follows. That'd be great. And also stream Confetti featuring Saweetie by Little Mix.
I will look. We have to give y'all a little insight. Sabrina got the whole Victory House all up into Mole, and then when I went film TLWL Dallas, me and Dre, who's also featured on Victory House Mole, got the whole house into Little Mix, and literally soon as Confetti remix dropped with Sweetie, everyone was like sending it to me like, Lance, look at your girls. I'm like, y'all better get into them. Period.
Awesome.
And
Yeah,
it also
good.
features Ahura and Taste from RuPaul's Drag
does.
Race UK.
It does.
Period.
Can we talk about how like as soon as I put the video on the TV, like my fiance Cole saw Taste in the first like shot.
Yes.
He was like, "That's Taste," and I was like,
yes, Taste.
Well, there you go. And then lastly, you can just follow me at 8 Ball Bangers like usual on all socials. Temptation Island is over, so I'm going to be finding something new to watch. But yeah, you know that should be fun. I'm speaking of Penthouse, by the way. When that does start, I'm very excited. We got me and Chanel and Sean and Sabrina, who was actually third place here last season. We're going to be talking about Penthouse this season later this year, whenever that comes out. So look out for that. But yeah, you know, you guys can see me on Anime Club and all that fun stuff because I have no other shows to talk about but this and anime right now. So that's. But yeah, that's it for tonight. And thank you everybody for watching. Have a good one. Bye.
"Bye, everybody."